miracles of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The story of the bull in the house of Abu Bakr. Imam al-Bukhari narrated on the authority of Abdurrahman bin Bakr, who said the companions of Safa were poor people. The Prophet, peace be upon him, once said, "Whoever has food enough for two persons should take a third one from among them, and whoever has food enough for four persons should take a fifth or a sixth," or said something similar. Abu Bakr brought three persons, while the Prophet, peace be upon him, took 10, and Abu Bakr with his three family members. Um, he said, "My wife and my servant who was coming for both my house and Abu Bakr's house." Abu Bakr took his supper with the Prophet, peace be upon him, and stayed there till he offered the Isha night prayer. He returned and stayed till Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, took his supper after a part of the night had passed. He returned to his house. His wife said to him, "What has detained you from your guests?" He said, "Have you served supper to them?" She said, "They refused to take supper until you come." Some members of the household, presented the meal to them, but they refused to eat. I went to hide myself, and he said, "O Gandhar," he invoked Allah to cause my ears to be cut, and he rebuked me. He said, "Do eat," and added, "I will never eat that meal. By Allah, whenever you took a handful of the meal grew from underneath more than that handful till everybody ate to his satisfaction. Yet the remaining food was more than the original meal. Abu Bakr saw the food was as much as or more than the original amount. He called his wife or sister of Bani Firas. She said, "O pleasure of my eyes, the food has been tripled in quantity." Abu Bakr then started eating thereof and said, "It's my it was because of the Satan, he took a handful from it. He carried the rest of it to the Prophet, peace be upon him, so that food was with the Prophet, peace be upon him. There was a treaty between us and some people, and when the period of the treaty had elapsed, he divided us into 12 groups, each headed by a man. Allah knows how many men were under the command of each leader. Anyhow, the Prophet, peace be upon him, surely sent a leader with each group. Then all of them ate of that meal." The story of the death of Jabir's father and the multiplication of the deaths. Imam al-Bukhari narrated on the authority of Jabir, who said, "My father had died in debt, so I came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and said, 'My father died, leaving unpaid debts, and I have nothing except the yield of his date palms, and their yield for many years will not cover his debts. So please come with me, so that the creditors may not misbehave with me.'" The Prophet, peace be upon him, went round one of the heaps of dates and invoked Allah, and then did the same with another heap, and sat on it and said, "Measure for them." He paid them their rice, and what remained was as much as had been paid to them. The guest who drank the milk taken from 7 goats. Imam Muslim related on the authority of Abu Huraira that Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, invited a non-Muslim. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, commanded that a goat be milked for him. It was milked and he drank its milk. Then the second one was milked and he drank its milk. And then the other one was milked and he drank its milk till he drank the milk of 7 goats. The next morning he embraced Islam, and Allah's Messenger commanded that a goat should be milked for him, and he drank its milk, and then another was milked, but he did not finish it. Whereupon Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, a believer drinks in one intestine, whereas a non believer drinks in seven intestines.